What is your take on sort of the overall process of this, creating the steering committee and then creating the FRA, just as a political or legislative act, or series of acts? Do you think it was, the way it was set up and carried out, do you think it was beneficial? Is there something we can learn from it? Was it a total disaster that we would have done totally differently? Or
No, I mean, no, and maybe I'm a little prejudiced in that, I was involved so heavily in it, but, it's a good question because anytime you have the ability to look at something with 20/20 hindsight, and are there things I'm sure we could have done better? Of course. But seriously, I think it's one of the best things that I've ever seen done. Not because of Bob Lucas or anything. It was just so many people involved, and it was refreshing to see them trying and to make it better. And I think it worked. Now, can you duplicate something like that? Yeah, but man, you remember all this is for free, and I got all these people working just hours upon hours. So it's something almost unique. See, don't forget too, you couldn't buy a commercial license. So that right there made a lot of folks mad. You mean to tell me I can't get a license? Why? Because y'all studying this stuff? Well, that went over real well. But, you had to stop it, because otherwise what you're trying to manage is a moving target. So look, I think in hindsight it was great. I applaud the legislature, and let me tell you somebody else that played a huge role. I thought about this. That was a tough vote on this thing. The biggest vote was not the legislature. That went right on through. Before it could go to legislature, and I just have to think of that sitting here with you, it had to go through Seafood and Aquaculture Committee before it could make it to the floor. And I went to a meeting in the afternoon and made a presentation on that. And I thought, this is not going to make it. This isn't going to make it. And if we don't make it, all this work's for nothing. And you had some commercial guys and recreation, they had gotten to a few of these politicians, and you could tell they weren't going to vote for it. To his credit, I don't think I've ever said this publicly, I called Governor Hunt that evening. I don't think this is going to pass. I mean, it was a big thing for him too. I mean, because remember, the stuff had been in, I can't tell you how much publicity it got. So, I mean, here we are on the edge of results where you want them. It's like you'd want anything passed that you spent time on. Well, he sat down and hand wrote notes. If it wasn't to every committee member, it was close. And they were delivered. I saw them delivered the next morning, not by the governor, but they were delivered by somebody else and handed to them. And they were personal notes from Jim Hunt telling them how much this meant to him and that he would appreciate the vote. Wow. It went right on through. Right on through.